Like they said, I'm new to this, so you have to excuse any jitters. I have a quick question for everybody as I get started. Can I see by a show of hands those who are afraid to ask for help or support or have problems with it? Anything with help and support? Now, the reason why I asked that question is because I'm nervous and I wanted a confidence booster. And so, honestly, when I see people raise their hand, it's like, okay, my message has an audience, you know? And the next reason is because, honestly, it's hard to admit that you need help or support. To me, it's one of my greatest personal weaknesses. I would rather try my hardest and fail than to ask for help. But it's confusing because when I think about it, I look at everybody who's been so successful in my life who has been great, and I see on TV and they have the greatness. They all did it with support. I'm at a loss for words right now with the amount of love and care that's in this room. It just makes me smile. And the thing is, it takes strength to ask for help, and it also takes humility to be able to receive it. This is the reason why I have opportunity to speak to you all today. It was hard to get to this point, and we're all going through life. Whether you're a survivor or a caregiver, we're all going through it, and it's difficult. But what we do when it's difficult is we set goals, and our goals are important. And when we live life, we have to live it for a purpose. Now, my goals are difficult and they're hard to reach because I set them high. I'm just happy. I'm sorry, I'm getting off track. I am just happy, and I have to feel this and I have to let it flow. So, basically, thank you. Because really, you clapping, it's about the effort. It's about the effort. It's about the effort you put in to reach your goals. And I put so much effort in here. But the other key is support. Now, when I started writing this speech, I looked up the definition of support and I was amazed. Because the definition of support is to bear all or part of the weight to hold up. It's such a simple word, but it means so much, especially to us. And so you guys can understand how it touched me. To bear all or part of the weight to hold up. And the thing, especially everything resonates here, is support is a two-way street. You know, we might be survivors or a caregiver, but we have to support each other. It's vital. Now, a little bit of background about myself. Sorry, my mouth is dry. So a little bit of background about myself is I went to school at Illinois State University, and I graduated with a degree in renewable energy. It was always my dream, honestly, to move to Arizona and to work in the solar industry, and I am blessed that I'm doing that now. Thank you. So around 5 years, a little bit over 5 years ago, after I graduated, I moved to Tennessee, and I got a job that was going to take me to Arizona. Now, I decided to play basketball one afternoon, and I tore my Achilles. Anybody with ever seen an Achilles injury or had one, it's a long and hard recovery, and because of that, I had to change my plans. So I decided to move back to Illinois, and I started working on my master's degree. When I was back in Illinois, I found a job after I got settled in, and it was with an event company. here we know the summers, they're hot. And so it's the opposite in Illinois. And the winters is cold. Nobody wants to go outside. You know, before I moved here, I never understood not wanting to go outside during the summer. People tell me I'm not going to want to go outside during the summer. So during the winter in Illinois, we had all the resources, we had all the equipment, and then we decided we're going to start throwing some parties ourselves. And then so we were doing well with that. And one day I'm networking, and wrong place, wrong time, mixed with too many drinks, I was assaulted. I was hit with a metal object, and I was out instantly. I was rushed to the hospital, and I was induced into a coma. They performed a craniotomy. I was still like teetering whether I was going to live or not, and they did another procedure, and they put tubes to take down the swelling and drain some of the fluid. Thankfully, I made a turn for the better, and they did reconstructive surgery on my skull. About a month later, I woke up, and to be honest with you, I was lost. I was delusional. I had no idea what was going on. Other than the birth of my daughter, this is by far the most traumatic experience in my life. And it's actually I got lost. See, it happens. Okay, there we go. But just like this, you know, over the next 2 years, everything was everywhere, and I didn't understand. Now, again, a little bit of background on me, I've always been an independent person, and I never really wanted help or support. And I showed this within a week or two of being in the hospital because I tried to escape from the hospital. I tried to break out. Like, I was just in ICU, just came out of coma. I have no vehicle, but yet I'm trying to break out of the hospital because I don't want help. So that's kind of a little background about myself, how like I've always fought getting help. I didn't know what was wrong with me. I didn't understand. I just wanted to get better. And I thought I treated it like it was a cold. Like I could just take some medicine and go on. So I got released from the hospital after around a month, and I attempted to go back to work. I also attempted to go back to school. Everything wasn't working very well, so I attempted to kill myself. And I didn't know how sick I was. I was lost. I didn't understand the changes that were going on in my body. The things that I thought I understood, I was overconfident about. I honestly, I had support, I had help there, and I would ignore it. I wouldn't tell people the truth. There was times where I couldn't walk, and I couldn't even lean against the wall. I would crawl to the bathroom rather than asking for help that was available in the next room. So basically, for a time period there, I just continued to fall on my face. I moved from Illinois to Tennessee to Virginia. And when I was in Virginia, I went to the hospital one day, like I did 2 or 3 times a week. And I met a counselor there. Her name was Miss Deborah Linnell. And she told me it was okay. It was okay to ask for help. It was okay if I let somebody help me. This was the first time that I actually listened because she had also been through a brain injury. She was a police officer who was shot in the back while in a vehicle, and she was kicked out and hit her head. And everything she told me, just like a lot of us experience here, it was the same thing. I understood. I felt hope. I felt it, just like we feel here today. And she taught me how to get organized, how to gather my thoughts, and then when I let other people help, I was able to rest, relax, and gain new strength. Another habit of mine is when things go well, I get overconfident, right? So it's like, okay, I'm good, I'm better now. And so I went from Virginia to Tennessee, and then a new problem developed. I started having seizures. I didn't know what was going on. Anybody who's ever had a seizure or seen it, they know it's the most uncontrollable, out of control. It's just, I have no words to describe it. I was misdiagnosed and misdiagnosed again by doctor after doctor. So I moved back to Illinois. And excuse me for dropping names, but my buddy came off of work, you know what I mean, just be here to see me, and he was one of the first people I called. He actually we live together now here in Arizona, and it's amazing that he's standing here because support is what I'm talking about right now. And I went back to Illinois, I got admitted to the hospital, and the doctor, he asked me some questions, they ran some tests, and he came back with a diagnosis of cognitive disorder. And he gave me the sheet, and you know how we get sheets in the doctor's office and in the papers, and it was like a truth serum. It was just verbatim of all the symptoms I was having. But what I did is I listened to him and how I can make it better. They supported me. My counselor, Ms. Tanya Welch, at Illinois Neurological Institute, she gave me direction, paths to follow, where to go. From that guidance, that support, I was able to grow. And with that accomplishment, honestly, came happiness. This here is what we need. We need to show it to each other. We need to carry it in our lives because it's important. Sorry about that. Support was my key. Support is the key. We all need it. It doesn't matter who it comes from, where it comes from, how and why. We need support. I tried without it. I was closed-minded. I was negative. Honest to God, I was depressed. I still get that way today, this week, last week. You know, it's hard. We need to support each other because it's so vital. And we all know the experience. And we need to carry it out, and we need to spread it to those people who aren't here. Now, in conclusion, I've talked about this a couple times. Thank you to the Brain Injury Alliance of Arizona. They're amazing for what they've done here and how they bring all these people together to help us help each other. I would like to say thank you to everybody and all the staff. Personally, I also would like to thank Ability 360. They're the reason why I can work. They help me with my paperwork, and today, tomorrow, and the next day, I will still need more help. Now, they also did me a great convenience when they scheduled this Mother's Day weekend. Because my parents, I've been out here for 7 months, and my parents, this is their first trip out of here to support me. Thank you. That clap everybody just did, we need to express that to our support systems, to people who care for us. We need to call them if they're here with you, speak to them, tell them thank you. It is so, so important. And now with Mother's Day coming up, please everybody, they are the greatest people in the world. We wouldn't be here without our mothers, and that stands for everybody. So please, everybody, wish every mother in your life a happy Mother's Day. And if I could ask my parents to come up so I can personally tell them thank you in front of everybody, because they are my family, my friends. They are my support system. And without them, I wouldn't be here today. And without people that are around these other people, like, we wouldn't be here. We thank you. Tell them thank you. It means so much. It is so special. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Love you. I love you too.
You can't do that to me, man.
I have to. You're old. Thank you.